The prop perspective for you on this Monday night. We have a hefty slate around the association. Some action on the ice in the jack of all trades. It is FanDuel's Tom Vecchio joining us here on this Monday on TEL. Vecchio, as always, we look forward to the prop perspective, diving through the slate with some picks and plays for this Monday.
Yeah, thanks for having me. NHL and NBA today. Before you know it, we'll be adding MLB into the mix just a few weeks away. I'm ready to go.
We got 6 games around the association on this Monday. We've got some thoughts on each and every one. Play-in teams in that postseason push down the home stretch of this NBA campaign. Inside the United Center tonight, the Bulls a 4-point home underdog against the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavs have won 2 straight games. The Mavs are a game behind Phoenix for what would be the 6th spot in the Western Conference out of the play-in tournament. Currently, Dallas in the 8th spot. Chicago pretty firmly in the 9th seed area of the Eastern Conference. They're going to be a play-in tournament team. Luka Doncic has been otherworldly. What does that mean for this matchup between the Mavericks and the Bulls tonight?
I think Luka is going to continue to do his thing. And like you said, it's crunch time for a lot of these teams in this 6 to 10 range in both conferences. You know, just looking at this game overall, I expect the Mavs to win. They're the favorites. They're the better team. I think we'd all agree with that. And Luka's putting up all these numbers. So, realistically, what happens when the Mavs win? Well, it's because Luka's doing his normal thing, going out there, putting up a double-double, if not a triple-double. So, my favorite way to approach this game is the player performance doubles market, or the player performance market, whatever you want to call it. Luka double-double plus Mavs win is minus 118. That's obviously significantly better than the money line, which is minus 180, minus 190, wherever it might be. He was also messing around with a little same game parlay of getting a Luka triple double with the Mavs winning. You can get that at plus 270, plus 300, because realistically they're winning and Luka's just on this tear of production where let's try and extract the most value out of this game that we possibly can.
Handicapping these scenarios here, Tom, always fascinating to me because I always like to ride the hot hand, particularly in the NBA. You take a look at that triple-double market here. He's got 6 straight games with 30-plus point triple-doubles, which is outrageous at this point. And the one thing we do know is now he feels that need. He has to gun for another one. Do you usually take players in this environment, or do you fade players in this environment based on the price point there at a plus 175 to get another triple-double?
It's really not about the streak that they're on. I'm thinking about this, the Mavs need to win. So regardless if he has 3 straight, 4 straight, 10 straight, he has to be out there for 35 plus wins. They're an okay team realistically. They wouldn't be in this spot if it wasn't for Luka. If he wasn't on this team, they're going to be fighting for the 10th seed. So he has to have a triple double basically for them. And even when he has triple doubles, they're losing games. So triple double, Luka, they win. Luka doing his normal thing is that's what needs to happen tonight.
Yeah, it's more about that playoff positioning for Dallas. Again, a full game back of the 6th spot. That is what Phoenix currently occupies in the Western Conference standings, trying to get out of the play-in tournament. By the way, 33.5, the points prop for Luka Doncic, a number he has been over in all 5 of those 30-point triple-doubles here in the month of March. He is the only player in NBA history to have 6 straight 30-plus point triple-doubles. Again, what the guy is doing is outlandish. Next, we go to the Mile High City, where Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets will host the Toronto Raptors tonight. A 26-6 outright record, Vecchio, at altitude for Denver this year, and it shows in the spread. They're laying 14.5. What's the breakdown for this matchup between the Raptors and the Nuggets?
A part of me wants to take Jokic unders just because a 14.5-point spread indicates he probably doesn't have to play in the 4th quarter. I think there's a spot where you can get Jokic unders and maybe he still hits triple-double in 3 quarters. However, my favorite spot to go is probably Emmanuel Quickley on the other side just because he's playing a ton of minutes. Scotty Barnes is done for the year. RJ Barrett is listed as questionable. That starting lineup is frankly not good. It should be Quickley, Ochai Agbaji, Kelly Olynyk. That lineup doesn't bring a whole lot, so it should really just be Quickley doing his thing, and there's no reason for him to not be out there for 35 or 38 minutes taking the majority of the shots because those players are out. So, the Nuggets take their foot off the gas a little bit, and they still win this game. They still cover, and the Raptors just pile up some points at the end. It's probably the best way to go about it.
Award season here in the NBA. Well, certainly last night was award season with the Oscars. Heavy favorite Oppenheimer takes down Best Picture. How about this? Nikola Jokic, heavy favorite here to minus 170 price, followed by SGA at plus 250, and Luka Doncic at a 7-1 price. Let me ask you this, Tom, because Nikola Jokic, far and away right now, is the favorite. Luka Doncic is going on a historic run now. Is there any chance that Luka can do something so historic over the final 20 games that he can edge closer to get the Jokic, or is it just Jokic who's going to win the award because he's the best player and that's just the way it is?
Yeah, it's probably Jokic's award to lose at this point. And, I have a position on Tatum a couple spots earlier in the season. I have him at 50-1 just because they're the best team in the league and he's doing a tremendous amount. But it would require a whole lot from Luka to 15 of the next 20 games he has to have triple doubles, something absurd. And it really just comes down to Jokic being amazing, doing everything that he's doing. I hate to say it, but he's probably had this locked up the second Embiid was announced out and whenever that was. That's realistically what it comes down to. I hate it because I have Tatum, but it's probably just Jokic at this point.
Luka Doncic has made NBA history. He is the only player in the history of the association with 6 straight games of a 30-point triple-double, and he can't even really cut into that advantage from the odds perspective, of which the Joker maintains, minus 170. Doesn't even have the second-best price. That's still Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for Oklahoma City. The Thunder, the best record in the Western Conference. Best team in all of the NBA, that's the Boston Celtics. On the road, late night tonight up in the Rose City against Portland. A 9.5-point spread in favor of the C's. How do you preview the matchup out in Portland?
Well, this one's certainly tough to preview because Porzingis is out. Brown, Tatum, Holiday, and Derek White are all listed as questionable. 4 of their starters are all listed as questionable. So my favorite spots to go is going to be Al Horford rebounding props, plus any of those starters, if they have 2 of them in, 3 of them, whatever it might be, some combination of points plus rebounds for Brown if Tatum's out, or points plus assists for Holiday if some of the other players are out. So it's just a wait and see, but Horford's probably the safest option as of now.
Get ready, party people. Tonight, Tom Vecchio, we're taking a look at the Phoenix Suns and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why do you want to party? The overnight line, -1 is a favorite at the FanDuel Sportsbook to the Phoenix Suns. The current line here, -6 as we look at the anticipated starting lineup. Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, Kevin Durant, Yusuf Nurkic. Could we get Booker back with a big victory for the Suns? And away they go down the stretches, maybe being one of the better teams in the Western Conference. What are we looking at tonight from the Suns Cavs, Tom?
Yeah, Booker expected back tonight. Little lack of lines posted for this game. Jared Allen for the Cavs has to have a big game on the glass if the Cavs are going to not only bounce back after a bad loss yesterday against the Nets. If he doesn't have a big game, he's going to be out-rebounded by Nurkic, Durant, and Drew Eubanks coming off the bench. Evan Mobley's not playing. If he doesn't have a big game, the Suns probably cover and win this outright, going away. So it's all about Jared Allen tonight. He needs to have a big game along with Garland and probably Karis LeVert as well.
When you look at the numbers for Phoenix, they have gone under in 10 straight games. They have not covered as a favorite since their second game after the All-Star break, but that's just where things stack up for the Suns. That's a strong Suns line at the moment. 6 points in favor of Phoenix, albeit on the road in the land against the Cavaliers. Steph Curry officially diagnosed with a right ankle sprain by Golden State. He will be reevaluated tomorrow. They don't expect it to be a long-term absence for the Chef, but he will miss tonight's game in San Antonio against the Spurs. The Dubs still booked as a 4.5-point favorite. Tom, with your prop perspective, what is the prop approach for Golden State without Stephen Curry?
That's going to the backup point guard of Chris Paul, CP3, over 19.5 points plus assist. They're sitting in the 10th seed right now, so another team. It's crunch time. He has to be out there. His minutes are trending up over the past few games. Curry is out. This is a great matchup with 2 teams in the top 8 of the league in offensive pace. He's put up 10-9 and 15-5 when it comes to points and assists over the past few games. This is a very clear spot for no matter what their starting lineup is going to be. Chris Paul has to be out there facilitating the offense in a very easy matchup against the Spurs. They need to be winning this game and trying to keep things as simple as possible. No Steph Curry. It's about CP3 tonight.
Monday night on the ice, let's switch it over here. A Metropolitan matchup between the Devils and the Rangers, showing the Rangers at home in the Garden at a -154 price and a total that's listed at 6.5. Are we getting goals tonight? And the favored Rangers going to be able to win this one?
Yeah, we should be seeing plenty of goals. As much of a rivalry as this is, the Devils have kind of slipped, and they sold off a few players at the deadline. So I'm expecting actually a good amount of goals tonight. If this was a little bit of a different story, I would say hammer the under if the teams are super close in the standings, but that's not the case. So I'm actually expecting a ton of points, and I like Artemi Panarin for one power play point at plus 140. 35 of his 87 points are on the power play this year. That's just under 40%. He has 6 power play points over his last 10, and it's a power play point. We don't care if it's a goal or an assist against the Devils, who, again, they are struggling on defense. It doesn't matter if Jake Allen is going to be in net, their newly acquired goaltender. It's simply not a good defense for the Devils, and the Rangers are flying on offense right now.
So, Vecchio, when you speak about the trade deadline, the Devils making some selling moves toward that deadline, but in the home stretch of this NHL season, we see 6 teams right now at a 10-1 number or less to win Lord Stanley's Cup. What is your assessment of the National Hockey League following that trade deadline?
It's going to be one of those top teams, not the Oilers, not the Leafs. I think the Jets are an amazing defensive team, but they have a very lack of offense. The Stars made great moves. The Avalanche made great moves. I'm going to stick with my pick from the preseason, which is the Dallas Stars. They have a tremendous forward group. Jake Onger is amazing in net. They picked up Chris Tanev slightly before the deadline, and they have a super deep defense. They have everything they need to do to win the Stanley Cup. It's about getting past the Avs probably in the second round, which is going to be their biggest test.
A 10-1 number for the Stars right now. That is the 4th best price out of the Western Conference to win a Stanley Cup. Tom Vecchio, the jack of all trades, we appreciate your prop perspective on this Monday. As always, thank you for joining us. We go hardwood handicaps up next here on the Early Line.